Amin, Daniel. Hello. Hello. Thank you for joining our live stream. Um, okay. Hello, beloveds. Thank you so much for joining us for this beautiful Saturday to open your spiritual senses. You say hi?
Hi.
If you would, please in the chat say hi and where you're from. And oh, looks like we have lots of people saying hi. Hello, beloveds. I'm just going to give a shout out really quick to the places in the world where we are since we're starting a little bit late. And just know we love you all and we love this international gathering. We're also on Instagram. Hi, Instagram peoples, and Facebook, right, City? And Facebook. So, Instagram and Facebook peoples, you can join us on Zoom. In fact, please do so we can see your gorgeous faces. And just want to say a quick hi to Enrique from Spain, Brenda from Australia, Ellie from Santa Barbara, Michelle from Sydney, Cindy from Montana. Greetings to everyone from Yvonne from Tucson, Camille from New Zealand. Look at this beautiful, hello, beautiful faces. Blessings from Karen in Bath, UK. So far, we have almost every continent. Gary and Robin from Santa Barbara, maybe, I'm not sure. Jean, I think from LA, I could be wrong about that. Denise from Santa Barbara, I believe. Hastings, Michigan, and Stephen. Hi, Stephen, right at Prada. Uli from Montana. Gary and Robin, I still don't know where you are, but you'll tell me. Celia, hi, Celia. Special sweet love to you, sweetheart. John Will from Nigeria. How beautiful is this? Lou from Lou Tenaglia, Pennsylvania, I think. Jan from Santa Cruz. Diana from Laguna Niguel. Joan Victoria from Massachusetts. Louise from UK. Claudia from Pennsylvania, Camille from New Zealand, Donna from Costa Rica, hi, Marla from Arkansas, Wynn and Edie from Montana, Susie from New Zealand and Australia, Jean from Texas, Tracy from South Carolina. This is unbelievable. What a gorgeous international, beautiful gathering. Kelly from Westlake, Kay from Solvang, Vanya from Chile, Denise, Santa Barbara, Samantha from France. I love this. Carlos from El Salvador, Antoinette. Oh, I just lost it's going so fast I can't even say them all. Frenchtown, New Jersey, Steve from New Mexico, Jim from Woodland Hills, Elisa from New York, Stefania from LA, and it goes on and on. My Instagram people are saying hi, Facebook people saying hi. So, hello, angels. Thank you so much for joining us. So much love and light to each of you. Would you like to say anything before we call in the light?
It's nice to be here.
Wonderful. And so, just to tell you, we have so much goodness in store for you. We'll call in the light. We'll do some quick meditation. We're going to do a quick process to just clear our consciousness. We'll do a beautiful exercise to open our spiritual senses, have a short seminar, and do sharing, and also some little surprises along the way. So, if you would, beloveds, we're going to call in the light. So, take a deep breath, reach your arms up, 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 tense everything. Let your shoulders go up, tense your arms, tense your face, squeeze everything tight, tight, tight. On the count of 3, we'll let it go. So, tighter 3, tighter still, squeeze your belly, tighter still 2, squeeze everything tight, tight, tight. 1, let it go. Beautiful. And just let your arms float down as you're aware of the light of the Holy Spirit filling you. Take a deep breath into your heart chakra. Inhale love, and as you exhale, let go of anything less with some sound. Another deep breath in, and this time shake your hands. And as you shake your hands, maybe you move your hips, your upper body, you're just letting go. Moving your energy field, shaking your hands goes across all cultures. Exhale and let your hands go still. And now, hold your hands up, palms facing each other, and just feel the energy in your palms. Be aware of the light in your palms and be aware of an angel's hands upon your hands, of the Christ's hands upon those hands, the traveler, all placing love and light into your hands. And now connecting you, your hands, hand to hand to each one present. Feel that connection, the warmth of the hands in your hands, the tingling between your hands. Feel the traveler, the Christ, amplify the love, the light in your hands. This is called psychometry. It's a spiritual sense. And now turn your hands towards your face, towards your body, and fill your body and your aura with that light. The light of the Holy Spirit, the light of the Christ, the connection of each one present. Palms towards you, filling yourself with light in every way for the highest good. And as you do so, you know it is safe to let it all go now. So deep breath in. On the exhale, let it all go into the light. Still aware of your hands gently in front of you, with God's hands upon yours, filling your beingness, your aura with light, with love. So just say, I open to receive. And just say it out loud where you are. I open to receive. For I am love. Beautiful. And now take your hands and press them upon your heart chakra. Inhale all the love of all the universes. And as you exhale, that love amplifies through you and goes to each one present. For love is infinite, connecting us, extending out to our beautiful planet. And we just ask that anything that is less than this love, less than light, be taken from us and transmuted now and through this beautiful class in every way for the highest good. Open in every way to the imminent spiritual assistance, angels, Christ, traveler, preceptor, Holy Spirit, Sarmad, Sugmad, and into God. Deep breath in. Breathe the light all the way through you one last time. Just being aware of it going to a part in your body that needs it. And now I want you to physically touch that part, physically touch it, feeling God's hand upon your hand. And just say, you are loved. You are healed. All is well. For I am loved. I am healed. And all is well. Beautiful. And so be it. And we'll chant three Anahus. Anahu is Sanskrit for we evoke the empathy of God, the oneness of God. So go ahead and let it ring out loud where you are, and we'll chant here. And in the silence, just receive your intention for this time together. Might just be a few words. Receive it from Spirit. You place each one here and those to listen to the archive, receiving their intention in every way for the highest good. And so Michael's going to share with us about opening your spiritual senses. Along the way, if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, especially if you want to share your intentions so we can all send light to you. Your intentions, please put those in the chat as well.
It's interesting to talk about opening our spiritual senses, because that would imply that we're going to open up to this ability that we have. But a more accurate understanding would be say we're going to open our awareness to a capacity that is a spiritual thing. It is the capacity of the spirit to know itself in and through all conditions, which includes the conditions of our physicality, the conditions of our thinking and our feeling and our imagining, the conditionings of the world. There's nothing that the spirit is not part of. Therefore, there's nothing the spirit cannot have a knowing of or information about. So the great differentiation here, of course, is we start with the recognition of our sensing capacities through the physical form, which is saying we use the senses of our physicality to grasp and know and experience and inform ourselves about this world and our place and our function in it.
Oh, but yeah, they're having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, well, that would have been good to know.
You can also just speak up a little. Here, let me bend it. Okay.
So, we also have the capacity to sense and know through the metaphysical world, through the psychic world, which means through the astral plane, the causal plane, the mental plane, the etheric plane of reality, and up into the soul. So what we're really saying is the soul will sense reality through the filter of that level. Like the soul might sense and learn through our physical involvement in this world, but it learns through the sensing capacities that we use here. I differentiate this from spiritual senses because being psychic or being clairvoyant in my mind is not really a spiritual sensing, it is a psychic sensing. And a psychic sensing is a good thing because it's allowing us to get a greater look, a more complete look, a fuller look at what's going on. It's allowing us to gain intuitive information. It's allowing us to gain greater insightfulness that can be very useful to us. However, because it is coming through the filtering of the psychic worlds, there's always going to be a level of distortion and a level of incompletion. There's also going to be a way in which whatever information we gain through the psychic sensing will be something we need to interpret, that will be something that we may see fairly accurately but interpret fairly inaccurately, because we'll see it through our own value system, through our own karma, through our own conditioned responses. So this is not a bad thing. These are good. And yet there's a greater thing possible for all of us, which is to sense spiritually, which means we can become conscious in our humanness of what our soul and what the spirit itself is sensing. Another way of saying is we can know what spirit knows. I've looked at this quite a bit. I was told by my teacher, John Roger, a long time ago, that I was here to teach intuition and inner knowing. And what I described for you just now was mostly intuition, which is coming through a filter of some kind. Inner knowing is when it's a direct thing where the soul sees directly and knows directly.
I'm sorry, they're still having a hard time hearing. They're still having a hard time hearing me. Can you turn them up a little? And can you speak up a little more? As best you can. There. Try that. And just project a little.
Project a little bit. So this great thing that John Rudger talked about as inner knowing, that I came to understand over time is what spiritual sensing is all about. It is the capacity to consciously know as a human being what you know solically, or even what you know spiritually. The differentiation is that when you know solically, you know it as, you know what your soul is experiencing. The soul then is the divine individuated to have a particular experience of reality, to come into time and space and to know and learn about it, in many ways in service to God, that God might glean from the learning of the soul and bring that wisdom more completely back into God. Spiritual knowing or spiritual seeing is a little different level. We kind of think of it like this: if you came awake fully to yourself as a soul, you would experience a oneness with all other souls. If you were to come awake to yourself as spirit, you would experience a oneness with all things, meaning you would experience oneness with everything and that the spirit is part of. And in this creation, there's nothing the spirit is not part of. So you would have access ultimately to everything in the dimensions of time and space, and to most of what's beyond time and space. And that's a little bit more complicated to explain, but perhaps we'll get into it. Maybe in the classes we'll get into that. So this is kind of what we're going to be looking at somewhat here today. And then in the 3 classes we're going to be offering, we're going to go into great depth about all this. So I'm just going to wait till the noise passes, since the amazing thing is that every one of us already knows and senses spiritually. This is something that's always so and always going on. It's just most of us have an amnesia to it. We're unconscious to this. It's almost like we need to remember what we already remember. We need to remember what we already know, which is, we know reality as God knows it. We know reality as spirit knows it. We know reality as the soul knows it. In my own experience of higher consciousness, that was the most startling truth that I did experience, was that the realization and the recognition that I already knew that I was with God, and I was always with God, and that somehow, playing in the world of time and space, a level of forgetfulness, a level of distraction happened, where part of my essence was able to buy into the illusion that I was limited to this body, that I was limited to this story of what was going on to me or with me. So this is one of those really startling truths that I think will be great for each person to come more aware of. This greater awareness that you are already awake. You just don't remember that you're awake. Another way of saying it's like you're sleepwalking. You know how to walk and you know how to sleep, and you're sleepwalking. And when somebody's sleepwalking, they don't necessarily know they're asleep. They're walking, but they don't necessarily know they're walking either. Plenty of people have slept, done sleepwalking, and they go out and do some amazing things. Sometimes they get out and drive the car. Hard to believe, but that actually happens. And yet they're still asleep. So we're going to support you and to support a greater ability to be conscious both as a walker and a sleeper. It's possible for you to be awake and aware in your sleep. It's possible for you to have consciousness in places where people say you can't have consciousness. I'm not saying this in a boastful fashion, but I'm just telling you from an experiential level, you can come awake and aware to the spiritual reality, even in the midst of all the distractions of this world. Personally, I have a very odd experience is that when I go under anesthesia, I'm conscious and I'm aware of spirit. And that's, I look forward to anesthesia. Alicia can tell you because I get kind of excited about it because I get to be very aware of the spiritual world.
And then invariably I get calls from nurses going, "We can't wake him up. He seems fine, but he won't wake up." I'm like, "Yeah, he's having a good time. Well, he'll
Yeah.
be fine."
I had a surgery about 6 weeks ago where that was the case, where I was supposed to have been back. Oh, I think it was about finally when they brought me back, a nurse was shaking me kind of violently, saying, wake up, you have to get dressed, you have to go home, which was kind of an odd way to come out of a surgery.
And then a couple of surgeries ago, a nurse came in and I came in and I said, "Honey, have you seen anybody?" And I met, the doctor, and the nurse was checking things, and he said, "Just Jesus." And she looked startled and started checking his vitals like he was about to pass.
This is the truth that we all have. This truth that who we really are is always aware. So we're really just talking about getting connected to who we really are. And this is a group full of people who already have that intention. So we're not really offering you a different direction. We're just going to be presenting some new information, but more than that, we're going to be suggesting that you look at it from a different perspective. There is a statement in the Bible which says, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And my dear teacher used to say, the blessings already are. So if the blessings already are, and the kingdom of heaven is at hand, that means it's already all here. And the big question is, well, why don't we know it? And my answer is, you do know it, but why aren't you paying attention to what you know? You're letting yourself be distracted by the condition of the world, by the game of physicality. You're letting yourself get so absorbed in that adventure, that process, that you're going unconscious to this greater truth. And even as I'm talking to you, I can experience the Spirit reaching into each of you to activate in you a greater sense of the true reality of Spirit, the true reality of who you are and what is so. It is always there offering this to us. We don't need to create the opening. We need to free ourselves from the distraction. We need to release ourselves from our obsessions and our habituation of worldly focus to the degree that it blocks us from the spiritual focus. Truly, when you wake up spiritually and open your spiritual senses, what will happen?
Window.
We're just taking a break here for the noise that was inevitably going to come. So
when you open to your spiritual senses.
When you open your spiritual senses, the funny thing is what will really happen is you'll open to the spirit that you are, and you'll actually recognize that you are the spirit looking through the form, hearing through the form, knowing through physicality. We have it kind of twisted around inside of ourselves where we identify ourselves with this and this body and the function of this body. And in this identification with it, we try to somehow reach from here to know what's there so we can get the answer from there. And I said, well, the reality is you're already there. And what you want to do is claim the truth of yourself as being already there in the spirit, with God. And then just bring the truth of that through the illusion of this. And then you will be one who also makes manifest the kingdom of heaven that is at hand. So I'm glad you're all here to participate with us. I think I've done my part for now.
Only temporarily.
Temporarily. So
that was beautiful. So let's just open ourselves now to receive, to experience what Michael was so eloquently sharing. So if you would just place yourself in, and if your mind has questions about what he shared, just go ahead and make a note of them. We'll be taking sharing later, or you can throw them in the chat, just to let your mind clear. We're going to just move into a few moments. This will probably not be too long of meditation, so we can perhaps bring in some meditation music, please, Jules. And so if you would just reach your arms up, because our basic selves love ritual. And so this is getting our basic selves on board to let us go high. So reach your arms up into your soul and into your spirit. See the light streaming for thousands of miles off your fingertips. Exhale as your arms gently float down and out. Arch back. Open yourself to receive of the Christ, of the Holy Spirit. Exhale and let your arms float down. And just be aware now of setting the intention to become conscious in the places that you didn't even know you could be conscious. To wake up from this sleepwalk, as beautiful as it is still but a dream. And so you tap your third eye and just say open. Open that I may awaken to the truth, to the reality of God, that I may see God's vision of what is. Open spiritually my eyes, Lord, that instead of being God looking, instead of looking for God, I am God looking. I am turning my gaze around and affirming, claiming that I am spirit looking out from within. This awakens everything within me. And tap your crown chakra and just say open. Open to divine knowing, another spiritual sense. That I would directly know what I have always known. And that I can let go of the illusion and the temptation and the compelling senses of the world and take up the spiritual senses. Open crown chakra, that I might the royalty and the majesty of my soul inhabit. John Rogers says, if you want God consciousness, you must assume it. So assume, intend, claim this moment that your crown chakra opens and you are aware of spirit up into the high heavens above all manifest creation even. And it is so. And just gently touch your ears, your physical ears, and say, open my ears spiritually that I might hear the sound of God. And pause, and what sound do you hear? Give yourself the benefit of a doubt. Spiritual sensing is subtle. And now be aware of a different spiritual sense, which is smell. There's a scent in the heavens. It's said that when the Christ is present, we smell jasmine. For example, what do you now smell? It's subtle. Attune, hone your spiritual sense of smell. And now be aware of a felt sense of spirit. And so you just gently be aware of your aura, the energetic field, the light surrounding your body. Tune, hone your awareness. Be aware of the light surrounding your body. You can either physically comb your aura and just gently pull out what doesn't belong there. If we can get things out of our aura, miasms, untoward energy, negativity out of our aura, before it goes into the body as sickness or the emotions as anxiety or depression, etc., we can get it out of the aura. It's so much easier. So just be aware. You can physically comb your aura with your hand or just do it with your awareness. And just release what's no longer needed. Being multidimensional, still up very, very high above your crown chakra in the high heavens, even aware as you are of working in your own aura. You are multidimensional. You are awakening everywhere. You are everywhere awakening. And lastly, the greatest spiritual sense of all is that of the heart, the spiritual heart, the loving. So, affirming God's heart beats within your own. Love as God loves, starting with the self and including the self of all selves, the self of love. Being the presence of love, manifesting the beloved amidst us. And it is so. Amen. And we'll give you a few moments to write in your journals, to just record any awarenesses you have, epiphanies, your experience. So we'll just do a few moments now for journal writing. Please feel free to share in the chat whatever was your biggest takeaway from the meditation. So we'll give us a few minutes now. Oh, all right, beautiful people. So I love your intentions. They're just gorgeous. We are going to do a short exercise now so that you can really make this your own, get very personal with it. It's pretty short, it's just 5 minutes per person, but I think you'll have fun with it. We're going to put you in breakout rooms, and then we will come back, of course, for a little, for some interaction and some sharing and another surprise. So if you don't want to be paired, please rename yourself real quick and just put an X in front of your name. We suggest that you be paired and do the process with someone because you know where two or more are gathered. There I am also in the midst of you. So we suggest you do the process with somebody else, but you might have another person in your physical space or just want to do it by yourself. That's fine. Just rename yourself and put an X in front of your name so we know not to put you in a breakout room. And the easiest way I find to do that is to hover over your little square where your picture is, or you can go to participants and find your name and go to the three dots and just scroll down to rename and then just put an X in front of your name. So my name would be X Alicia Doss. You can always rename yourself again later if you want to. So just rename yourself only if you do not want to be paired. We do believe that maximum value is gained being paired, but totally up to you. Okay, so with that, this is a super simple process. Michael Hayes does not. I'm gonna surprise Michael Hayes. Ready for this? So we're going to demonstrate the process really quick. I'm going to ask Michael the questions just so you get an idea of what we're looking for. But the questions are very simple. We're going to put them in the chat. They were in your thank you email, and they'll be kind of posted everywhere. They'll also be posted in your breakout rooms. The questions, if Brett, if you could go ahead and post those in the chat, but you also got them in your email, the process. So very simple. We'll put you into breakout room. You'll have a minute to make sure you're unmuted and just say hi and decide who goes first, meaning who will answer first. And then you'll see a flash on the screen and some bells that say, please begin, partner A. Partner A will answer the questions. And you'll have 5 minutes each. You'll hear a bell at 4 minutes saying that you have 1 minute remaining. Then the bell will come at 5 minutes. You'll switch partners and partner B will begin. So the questions are deceptively simple. I say deceptively because they can go very deep very quick. Let's see. And just quick last minute mention to please rename yourself if you do not want to be paired. Otherwise, we will put you in the breakout room. And if you're in the breakout room and you don't have a partner or your partner's video is on, but they are not there, then just push the help button and then we'll repair you with someone else, maybe one of our amazing assistants. Okay, dokie. So this process is based on the spiritual law of assumption. So John Roger said, if you want God consciousness, you must assume it. Another, John Roger, most of you know it, is a profound spiritual teacher who's passed into spirit now, but still quite present. And he also said, if you're not getting it, you're not claiming it. So this process is really about, what is it for me to assume my spiritual senses are open? What would that look like? What's in the way of that? Letting it go, and then now like diving into that ocean of God consciousness and what do I sense? So pretty simple. And looks like the questions are in the chat. So Michael, can you give us 5-second answers just to give people an idea? You're going to have a lot more time than we're going to give Michael. But just so Michael, describe what would be different in your awareness and your life if all your spiritual senses were open.
I'd be laughing all the time.
Awesome. Just speak up a little bit, babe.
I would be laughing all the time.
What limiting beliefs get in the way of your spiritual senses being open?
That there are serious things to deal with in life.
Ask Spirit to assist you to sacrifice that, even if just for now. Take a deep breath and let it go. Good. Now, Michael, assume all your spiritual senses are open now. Describe what you know about yourself, what you sense about yourself and about divine reality. Use your eyes, ears, knowing, heart, scent, feeling, etc.
I'm aware of such a joyful truth about life and all things. The freedom, the unending perfection of the undercurrent of living.
Beautiful. Okay, so I think that makes sense. If you have any questions just about the process, then go ahead and throw them in the chat now. Otherwise, if you guys are ready to begin, show me sparkly fingers. Some of you know this from my last series. Sparkly fingers, show me sparkly fingers if you're ready to open all your spiritual senses. Sparkly fingers. We have sparkly finger holdouts out there. I want to see everybody with sparkly. By the way, this actually clears you and wakes up your energy field. Sparkly fingers, thank you. And besides, it's just fun, right? I love your sparkly fingers. I wish you could see everybody with sparkly fingers. All right, my love. So we're going to, we're about ready, Jules, love, to put everybody in the breakout rooms. I'm going to call on the light really quick. You'll see your beautiful partner in front of you. You'll unmute. You'll decide who is going to answer first, and you'll begin. And then we'll see you back here for some sharing. Okie dokie, Smokies. So, would you like to call on the light?
No, you do it.
And beloved Holy One, we're so grateful to be as one here in love, opening our spiritual senses that we may wake up to the presence of God and love that is our spiritual promise and birthright. We place this process, each one, into the light of the Holy Spirit for the highest good, and so be it. Amen. All right, we're going to send you off now, and we'll see you back soon.
Hello.
Hi, can you see me?
No, I can't. I have a screen of.
Yes, it has the partner process up, but I'm sorry, I can't see you, beloved.
Can I get into a breakout room? Hi, everyone.
Hi, Wendy.
I'm not in a breakout room either.
That's it.
Nobody joined mine.
Nobody joined mine. I'm Corrine, and I'm kind of seeing a picture of Alicia and Michael and partner process.
Birdie or
Hi everyone.
Eric?
You're in the main room right now. It's because you had an X in front of your name.
I didn't.
Let's go
I
one
didn't.
by one. Let's go one by one. If you want to be in a breakout room, want just one person at a time to share your name.
Wendy Kunkel.
Okay, so hold on, Wendy. Let's get you moved. 1 second.
Thanks, Julie.
Yeah, no worries.
Brenda.
Let's see. Hold on, Brenda. Well, hold on, everyone. I gotta go one at a time here. Sorry about that. Wendy, where did yours go? Does it say Wendy Kunkel on your?
Yep. I just had my hand raised, but someone put it down.
Oh, that's why it's probably moving it around. Let's see. Still not finding your name, Wendy.
I just raised my hand again.
No, unraise your hands because it moves it out of order then.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find you. All right. Very strange.
I'm Karen Espinosa, but I didn't put an X. And I don't see myself anymore.
Okay, I'm just going to sign the ones that are hanging out here.
You can put Kareem.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe
Wendy.
if you need a partner, just put your name in the chat so she can match you.
So that we will begin shortly. Thank you.
We're going. We're going.
Hi, beloveds in the breakout rooms. We are sorting out the breakout rooms, so please chat amongst yourselves and know we will begin the process shortly.
Good morning, Alicia. It's Susie.
Let's go to
Jean lit. Hi, Jean.
Hi, Corinne. I've been talking to you. I didn't realize I was muted. Hi.
Hey, I'm get to join a room now.
Hi.
The one with the heart, you know what I'm talking about? That's look at it. It's right on the wall. As you walk in, it's to the left. Yeah.
Cindy Lovejoy.
If it's this complicated, maybe just surrender it.
Everybody's been assigned, and the strangest thing is your name is not in this list anywhere. Very bizarre.
I'm in breakout room 12. Can you I'll go back there and send Kareen in and we'll have our little process.
Oh, you're there. Okay, that's because you're in 12. But why? You are in a breakout room with Cindy Lovejoy, so I don't know why.
And I don't see how to.
She probably didn't go. I'll go check and see if she's there.
Okay, great.
I don't see a way to go back to room 36 if anybody is there yet.
Who is this? Who is this?
Sorry, Jean lit. I was in room 36 and nobody came. So I came out and now I don't know how to go back. Oh, if I click on breakout rooms?
Yeah, because it's still, yeah, just click join breakout room. Your partner has not joined yet.
Still.
Yeah, so let me see if I can put you with somebody else.
Alrighty, thank you.
Oh, here, I have someone I can put you with. You're
wonderful.
You're in 36. I'm gonna move someone with you. Let's see if that helps.
Okay, great, thanks.
Let's see if it's not moving them. Come on, move. Try moving them one more time.
Go ahead and begin, please.
Okay, now it's document 36.
And thank you for your patience. And partner A, please begin.
Hello, is anyone here?
Yes, may I help you? Who's this?
Wow. Good evening. My name is John Will.
Yeah, hi, John. How can I help you?
I hope you're part of the program going on.
I'm sorry?
Are you part of the program going on, opening your spiritual senses?
Yes, it's right now. We're in a process right now. So
Yes.
it's right there on the screen. If you want to go ahead and do the process, that's fine.
Yeah, that is why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's right there. You can just do it inwardly. We've already moved everyone into breakout rooms. So if you want to go ahead and just do it inwardly, that'd be fine.
Okay. I can also do it inwardly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think I like that. That should be better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Doesn't make sense. Oh, sorry.
Hi, who's there? Can I help you?
Sorry, Julie, it's Susie talking to myself. Well, actually talking to Alicia on the screen.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and mute yourself? Because it's being broadcast out to everybody.
And you have 1 minute remaining. Partner A, 1 minute remaining. Hopefully.
Can you hear me?
And if you haven't already, partner B, please begin. Yeah. And partner B, you have 1 minute left.
to do the exercise. Always try.
And please bring that to a close. Partner B, please bring that to a close, and we will bring you back into the main room. Yes, Rion? All right, beautifuls. Thank you so much for your patience with that. Sorry for the delay. I hope you had fun chatting with your neighbor. Apparently, just a lot of people didn't accept the breakout rooms. So, Zoom is still a bit new of a technology for a lot of us. So thank you for your patience. I hope you enjoyed that process. And I would love for you to post your biggest takeaways in the chat. And also think about if you'd like to ask us a question, preferably related to opening your spiritual senses. And we'll be taking both questions from the chat and interacting with you. So you do have to have your camera on if you'd like to do sharing. So go ahead and raise your digital hand if you'd like to ask a question. Your digital hand is at the bottom of the screen where it says reactions. You just click where it says reactions and then click at the bottom it says raise hand. If you're not sure how to do that, just put that in the chat and our angel assistants will help you with that. So raise your digital hand if you have a comment, would like to share your biggest takeaway, have a question, and put your biggest takeaway in the chat. I would love to read some of them. And so I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And let's just take a minute and clear ourselves. So again, just reach up movement is a great way to clear yourself. If you can stand up, go ahead and stand up. And just raise your arms up, your shoulders up as well, up into the light. Exhale, let your shoulders float down. And now I do want you to comb your aura because this is a spiritual sense. And you're really just flinging out anything that doesn't belong there. So as soon as it leaves your fingertips, it goes into the light. So if you have a partner next to you, they don't have to duck. It goes into the light as soon as it leaves your fingertips. So you're just combing your aura and you just feel it and just fling it out. Remember to go down, especially around the solar plexus, around the second and third chakras where we can pick up a lot. Root chakra, down knees, feet, and then your back as well. And you can't quite reach the middle of your back, so you use your awareness and just get it out that way. So combing your aura and flinging it out. A few more seconds of that. Beautiful. Deep breath in now. And now I want you to, just like you were taking off a big body stocking, just take and peel off anything you no longer need from your feet. You also get a good stretch this way from your feet to your head. Just peel it off and then shake your hands. Shake your hands, shake your shoulders, shake your head. Deep breath. Now be aware of the light of the Holy Spirit filling all parts that were emptied like the most gorgeous waterfall from the highest of heavens, all through your body and consciousness into the center of the earth. And be aware now of dropping a grounding cord from your feet chakras and your root chakra deep into the center of the earth. So this doesn't ground your spirit. What it does, it brings the spirit all the way through. So you're solid as a mighty sequoia tree, feeling the earth holding you, loving you, supporting you, even while you allow your awareness to soar up into the high heavens, up through all the realms, in every way that you are heaven on earth. and that you are the beloved. And so be it. All right, angels. So that gave you a little time to raise your hands. Let's see, I'm just going to read the chat a little bit. So I'm just going to tell you, Michael, there's just so far just one question, which is what's the difference between intuition and inner knowing? So that's an easy one we'll probably answer. Yvonne says, it's difficult to speak from the all. It is a being place. Absolutely. Steed says, this is simpler than I unconsciously thought. Intention, paying attention, noticing are her for me, are here, I think she might mean. Jean says, when I assume God consciousness, I have only to listen and I hear God speaking. Did JR say no one hears God? It isn't audible, just a knowing of words. I'm not aware of JR saying that, but I think I understand what you're saying. So, yes, it's true. God is speaking to us all the time and right from within us. Wow, she says. So Cindy says, takeaway, an awareness of there you are. Absolutely. All right. So I will show you this view so you can see the hands. And can you see the hands, Michael?
I see hands, not names.
So yeah, if you put your glasses on. So while Michael is
I can see them.
seeing the hands, I'm going to answer real quick the difference between intuition and inner. Well, that's an interesting one. Difference between intuition and inner knowing. Well, the first thing I would say about that is it really depends on who is defining it, because words really mean whatever meaning we give them. To my awareness, intuition is more when we use our spiritual sensing and we have a felt sense of, and it could come through the mind, it could come through sight, it could come through clairaudience, it could come through a knowing where it's brings us into a direct knowing. So it's in essence, intuition could be what precedes inner knowing. Inner knowing can also come just like a flash where we just know. It's generally thought, the reason I'm hesitating is because different people define these words very differently. So intuition often precedes inner knowing. Inner knowing is generally from the higher realms, where intuition can be from the soul and down. It can be from above as well, but inner knowing is a more of a direct knowing straight from spirit, where intuition may come more from the soul. That's kind of a very loose definition. Again, it really depends on who is defining it, because everybody can have different meanings for the same words. I don't know if you want to say anything about that. Did you pick some? I was stalling partly to give you time to pick someone. Did you pick someone?
No, I want to say something about that.
Okay. Did you pick? You want me to pick someone? Because we need to tell them.
Bob Zapp.
Okay, Bob. So we're going to unmute you in just a moment. So we don't have a lot of time. So answer that quickly.
Intuition, in my view, is when the soul is perceiving through the filter of the astral, causal, mental, or etheric form. Inner knowing is when the soul is perceiving directly, or our inner knowing is a state the soul is always in, but it's freed of the distraction of psychic material filters, and obviously the spirit knowing directly without having to do it through those filters. So that's very similar to what you said, but a little bit more. That's a division that I work with.
Okay, great. So we're going to, if you want to share, by the way, please do have your camera on. You don't have to leave it on the whole time, but when we are choosing someone, and by the way, we're not choosing, it's the light choosing. It's very, very much not personal. So we're going to take Bob, and then we'll share a little bit more and then take more sharing. So if you can put Bob on screen with us. Okay, so, but you can go ahead and talk, Bob. We can hear you.
What I'd like to know, Michael, is we're doing this third eye meditation here with Ian, and I would like you to talk about the third eye and if there's divisions in it that we can get tap into in terms of our spiritual sensing that's from your experience and how we can use that.
I believe there's 3 sections to the third eye. Now, they're not partitioned exactly like we would draw it in a diagram, but and the big difference is that when you're, think of it as a directional thing, when the third eye is, oh, this is so complicated. When the third eye is, when you're in the, let's say the lower part of the third eye is attending more into the psychic dimension, the psychic material reality. When it goes more into the upper quadrant of it, it's attending more to the knowing of spirit. So the third eye is that place where we could say in a sense the filters of perception are addressed. It's like it's addressed. The soul is starting to address reality through filtering. And the more you're in the upper quadrant of that third eye, the less filtering. The more you're in the lower quadrant of that third eye, there's more of the filter of your astral form, your causal form, your mental form, the etheric double, those things. So that's a simplified way of seeing it. There's a more complicated answer. That's kind of something we would do in the class because there's a lot to that. So I'm going to give you the simplified version of it. I hope that helps.
God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to do some more sharing. But first, I want to tell you really quick, in case you need to go somewhere, that we want to tell you, take 30 seconds to tell you about the class. Can we see all the people? We're just seeing it. Thank you. I'll tell you really quick about the class. So it is on opening your spiritual senses. We're going to go a lot more in depth about opening the third eye, opening the crown chakra, opening our psychometry or our felt sense in our hands, opening our hearts, opening our awareness of the higher realms, and how do we be functional? How do we be grounded and bring all of this into our daily life? And most of all, how we turn that gaze around and be aware that we are God looking out from within us. So we haven't done a class together in at least a couple of years. And so I hope you can join us. The dates are, and if you could put all this in the chat, please, beloved assistants, the dates are Wednesdays. We tried to pick the day where there was not a conflict with a lot of other events, which, as you can imagine, is very hard. So we landed on Wednesdays, March 15th, 29th, and April 12th, 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. We tried to pick a time that works for most time zones, since, as you see, we have a very international crowd. Of course, all the classes will be recorded. So 3.5 hours, we'll have lots of time to do, of course, talks, meditations, processes, some other interactive activities. We hope you can join us. And if you sign up in the next 24 hours, then you get a bonus of an additional class online called Opening Your Spiritual Eyes. So where we talk a little bit about what Michael just shared. Opening Your Spiritual Eyes is a beautiful class we did a few years ago, and you get a month access to that, to watch that class if you sign up in the next 24 hours. The link to sign up is probably in the chat already. It's spiritualsenses.awake2love.com, spiritualsenses.awake2love.com. And the class that you get as a bonus if you sign up in the next 24 hours, so by 2 p.m. tomorrow, is Opening Your Spiritual Eyes. You'll just get that in your thank you email when you register for all 3 classes. If you can't attend all 3 classes, they will all be archived. There is an option to do just one class, but they will build on each other. And so we do recommend you do all 3. And then that's also when you get the bonus. And also, you also will get 10% off if you sign up for all 3. I think that, anything else you want to share about that, Michael?
No.
Okay, the cost is $295 for all 3 classes. So it's quite inexpensive for that many hours. That is 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. We always over deliver and we'll always go over. So it's at least going to be 12 or 13 hours with Michael and I. So I hope you will join us. If you have any questions or comments about that, please put them in the chat and we will answer them. Okay, so any questions about that? If you have questions, well, let's see, we have digital hands. If you have questions about that, show me sparkly fingers and I'll answer that. Because I just like you guys to do sparkly fingers anyway. Now I see people just doing sparkly fingers. If you have a question, throw them in the chat. Okay, you know what? Let's just all do sparkly fingers because we like doing sparkly fingers. Sparkly fingers, by the way, even indigenous tribes, every culture has some sort of different way that they do. You know, if you see indigenous dancing, they're always doing this. There was actually a reason. They thought it actually drove away evil spirits and cleared their energy field. So sparkly fingers. I just think they're fun. Okay, deep breath, let that all go. Inhale love, exhale anything less than love. And once more, place your hands on your heart chakra and be aware now of connecting very specifically with each one present, all 110 or so of us. Connect heart to heart, open your heart, and be aware that God is in the midst of us, as us. And just with this next breath, open to receive that very personal loving, that intimate loving. Inhale that loving. It goes right where you need it most. As you exhale, that love just amplifies. So be it. Okay. I see lots of emojis in the chat. That's very sweet. So the dates of the class, Eric put in. Thank you, bud. And if we could throw in the link to register, I can actually do that, being the multitasker that I am. So we're going to take a little more sharing. We are going to go a little bit over. We understand if you have to jump off. I will send out the email with the archive of this within a few hours. And thank you, Eve, for putting in that link. And so, can you see the people, Michael?
Oh, no, without my glasses again.
Okay, so
there's so many.
Picture. There is so many.
Well, let's do.
Okay, Michelle, Benjamin, if we're gonna go to you, and then we'll try to get to a few more before we end today. And of course, we'll have lots of time to. Almost everybody who will want to share will get to share during the series. So, Michelle, we'll bring you on. You can go ahead and start talking and tell us your question while we find you.
Hi, beloveds. Nice to be with
Hello.
you. Thank you for being present today. So, you know, part of the raising hand is the inner knowing. I guess that's the first step. I had been sort of struggling the last few weeks, and it sort of came to a head this week, and it has to do with that experience of inner knowing. When I am in it, I just have noticed that I'll expand my consciousness. I'll feel like I'm in an altered state, but then I have a lot of anxiety with it. So I would just like to let that go, or get to the root of that and let it go. And anything you have with that would be assistful to me. Thank you so much.
Well, we'll see what Michael has in a moment, but also 2 things I hear for you. One is actually kind of unusual to talk about in these circles, but it's grounding. You know, we do ground, but I know for myself, I'll hesitate to ground because I'll think it means, you know, that I'm somehow coming down. And really what it's doing is it's bringing, what I heard JR say was grounding is bringing the spirit all the way through into this level. So when we go into these high realms, which is glorious, if we don't ground, sometimes what can happen is we can feel out of sorts. We can feel anxious. you know, because our basic self is like, I feel ungrounded. And so there are a lot of ways to ground. Of course, the ease, you know, are you familiar with that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Feet in the grass, walking, all that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's a way that hasn't been talked about as much in MSIA, which is where you, and everybody, let's just do this for a moment. I promise you won't go lower. You will probably, you know, we did this in a class Michael did where that was a really advanced class. And one person shared like, oh, I resist grounding. And I did this grounding exercise with her. And what she said was she actually found she could go a lot higher right after I did the exercise. You know, Michael likes to say, and I think it's beautiful, for a tree to go taller, it must sink its roots deeper. For a tree to grow taller, it must sink its roots deeper. So drop a grounding cord. So everybody just close your eyes for a minute and drop a grounding cord from your root chakra. So that often looks like a cord or a string of light from your root chakra, you're right at your tailbone, deep into the core of the earth. And drop grounding cords from your feet chakras. Yes, you have chakras in your feet, into the core of the earth. And in the core of the earth, both Michael and I have seen a golden Christed orb that we call the Tuan. So drop those grounding cords deep in the earth, deep, 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 millions of miles down. Connect into the Tuan, that Christed orb. When you connect into the Christed orb, you're connecting, of course, to the Christ, but also to all loving beings. And as well, you feel the earth, Mother Gaia, surrounding you with the deep, rich soil, the waters, the elements, the logos of the planet sheltering you. Drop those grounding cords so you are solid. Maybe those cords are roots like sequoia tree roots. Drop them deep into the earth. So nothing moves you. You are stable, but yet your spirit, now take your awareness up and go up high, 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 up through all the levels, from the soul, through the 27 levels, and up above into the Sarmad and the Sugmad. And even higher, drop that reference point and go even higher. Into the spiritual sky, even as you're deeply rooted. So that is a way to ground.
Well, it's interesting. That's one of the lines in my blessing. Allow your roots to grow deep. Go deep into the essence of self and drink of the clear waters of spirit. There you go.
Oh, perfect. Anything else you want to say?
It's beautiful. Unconsciously, you have some fear of going too far based upon a past lifetime where you were a doctor and you were using gas or something to help anesthetize people. And the ability to gauge how much to do and how much, and you were overexposed to it, and it caused some problems in terms of your own inner equilibrium.
I've
So
been
in the
dizzy
unconscious,
for 2 weeks.
yeah. So that's that fear in that. So just take a breath. This is not that. You'll be all right. Do the technique Alicia talked about, and just hear the Lord saying, "I'm here with you. You're not going anywhere without me, and I won't go anywhere without you." Just remind yourself of that, and that'll help to stabilize things and let go of the karma that of the life and the fear and the unconscious related to the inadvertent destabilizing of your sense of grounding, your sense of physical equilibrium. Okay?
Got it. Yes,
So
thank you.
everyone, when you hear us clear a past life, clear it for yourself. We're all one. So everybody, forgive any times where you destabilized yourself or anyone else, didn't connect to the earth. Let it all go. Thank you. God bless. All right, we're going to do one more. No, as I say that, we might do more than one. Oh, the people I was going to call just disappeared. Are Win and Edie still here? Did they did they leave? Oh.
I guess you're not calling on them.
That's funny.
There
Hi,
they are.
Alicia. I'm here.
Somebody's talking. Who's talking?
This is Edie.
Oh, you are. Oh,
In
we
Montana.
can't see you, but we can hear you. So perfect.
Go
now
ahead.
we can see you. There we are.
Go
Hi,
ahead.
loves.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you for calling.
Of course.
So my question is, I have a tremendous amount of like overwhelmed thinking about my spiritual senses being opened. Like it'd be too much coming in and I'll likely go crazy. And I'm clearly would like to move past that misunderstanding. And so I just want to put that in the light. And that's why I raised my hand to see what do I do with that? Because it's feels like a big block for me right now.
I'm so, yeah, you go ahead. I just want to say I'm so glad you said that. I I don't know if you can see, but everybody who can relate to that, do sparkly fingers. If you can, I'm doing sparkly fingers. I'm so glad you said that, Edie, because that's a very common, I don't know if it's a misunderstanding, but concern. And you can't see the screen, but there's a lot of sparkly fingers. So please.
You have drug addiction karma, and that's part of what plays out for you here. Many times when we've tried to go into higher states through the use of psychedelic substances, it's very hard to not do too much, because you do a little and you go, wow, so then more must be better, so you get a double wow. But at one point, wow becomes whoa, but it's too late, which is what happened to you, and you went insane. And so that's a relatively recent memory for you. So there's a pushback in the unconscious, wanting to protect against that happening again. So
Everybody, any lifetimes, including this one, where you've ever had challenge with substances, including, don't shoot the messenger, caffeine, forgive all the judgments and let it go. Because when we do the substances, then we are often too open.
when we're opened artificially, in a sense, we're abandoning spiritual protection, which I've been there, done that. I bet everybody in this room has too. So it's one of those things we learn not to do. But sometimes we get a little overprotective to ourselves, especially when it's more recent, as it was in your case. So let that go. You have spiritual protection. Work with the spiritual source that's working you, and listen. It won't give you more than you can handle. Just don't make sure you don't give yourself more than you can handle. It won't do it though. Spirit will modulate this for you. As that happens, and it may happen, let's say in the class, where people might push the envelope and feel this fear, and we describe that as a pushback. Somebody says, oh, this is too much. I deal with this a lot in my life still. And as soon as it starts happening, I go and look, okay, I go back and say, what's the pushback about? And it's so rapid when I see what the pushback is about. I forgive it, I see it, I forgive it, and just instantly goes so many times. So it seems like it's so big, but it really isn't necessarily that. But it's based upon a protective instinct. Sometimes it's an overprotective response based upon a different time and a different scenario, which looks what it looks like for you.
And I just wanted to say, really, were you finished?
That's pretty much it. You use peyote. That's what got you. Just so you know.
For a lot of us on a spiritual path, a lot of these lives were because we were using peyote or ayahuasca or some sort of psychedelic for spiritual reasons. But as we know, unfortunately, fortunately, there's no shortcuts to God other than the ones we know about. spiritual exercises, traveler, etc.
Take a breath, let that go.
Everybody, take a breath, let it go. Forgive all the judgments of any times that in the past, even this life, where you've used substance to open your senses and they open too much. I just wanted to say real quick, often when we have that pushback from our ego, this is not related to substance, but pushback is often because we're blocking a positive presence. So like if Michael is out of balance, often I'll just look at him and say, who are you blocking? You know, so if you find yourself out of balance, sometimes we can be irritable, etc. Often it's because we're blocking a positive presence with us. Christ, an angel, God, divine mother, whomever, right? And we block it because our ego doesn't want to not exist, which is what must happen for us to open to those presences. Okay. Thank you, my dear.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Since you've got me here, since I've got you here.
Sure.
First, I'm amazed at how pertinent that information was for me also. In fact, I thought Michael was talking to me. But I wanted to look a little bit more at my addictive part of my personality. That I seem to use that to actually block. I use it to lower the frequencies so that I don't go higher. Yeah. So, and I'm talking about alcohol right now. Maybe I'm also talking about sensation in general.
All addictions can be summarized as some form of stimulus addiction. And so, in a strange way, sometimes we get addicted to something that reduces our sensitivity. See, many people drink because it, in a strange way, it disinhibits the basic self, so they feel freer, but it also desensitizes themselves from their own process, their own emotions. And so there are a lot of very sensitive people who find themselves in one form or another of addiction with the unwitting experience of blocking themselves from that which they want the most, which is greater awareness, because of the comfort they take in being less affected or less moved by what life is bringing them. Now, in your case, there's genetics here at play.
Yeah.
And so the addictive tendency comes through the genetics, and yet you chose those genetics spiritually. So why did you choose into that? You were an alcoholic in a past life and did not end well for you. So you chose to revisit the planet with alcoholic genetics, or let's say, we'll take that as with addictive genetics, to be forced to confront that. Meaning you chose that path of escapism before, and it led to an early demise for you. So, though you may judge yourself as doing poorly now, you're actually doing a whole lot better than you did then. So it's almost like you were challenged by something to learn and grow in relationship to. You didn't really get the learning, so you came back, and now you're doing it again. So I'd be kind to myself here, because you're sure doing a lot better than before. So I'd like to do better even still. Well, understand the dynamic, understand what it costs you, understand what it gains you. Say, well, if it's gaining me some comforting, then look for what are other ways I can give comfort to that part of myself who needs that comfort. How can I be a balm of Gilead to my own consciousness, to my basic self, to all those levels in me that just feel overwhelmed. So I can get that comforting. And then if the let's say the alcohol is lessened or withdrawn, there's still comforting there.
Yes. And when I'm in places and with people where spirit is really present, then that comfort seems to be really present for me.
The spirit is the ultimate comfort for you. The problem is you got something else in you came in. You got possessed in that life where you were alcoholic. And the possession took you over. And so you died in madness and in terror. And so that there's something says, well, I don't want that. But and then it's strange. You have this association of letting go means I'm going to be possessed. Well, you won't be. But
No, it's okay.
so I'm just waiting till this karma moves. It takes its time sometimes. There's an angel there with you now. So take a breath, let this go. This is a big karma for him, so everybody send him light. This goes back to around 2,000 years ago to a traveler named Apollonius of Tyana, who you were a student of. Yeah, there you go. You're falling away from the spiritual opportunity that time you never really forgave yourself for. So this has led to you have an underlying sense of being undeserving and having like well, it's hopeless. I will never get past this. Between that life and this lifetime, there's 6 lifetimes. And this haunted you in each of those lives. So why don't you make this the last time? Because God's certainly not holding it against you. But God will allow you to hold it against you until you learn you don't need to do that.
There's an angel that can help move this, and actually came in for the whole gathering, our whole gathering. I don't know, maybe 10 minutes ago. Michael just referenced it, but didn't name it. It's one that most of you won't be familiar with. It's called Purael. Purael. So starting with Pu, Purael, and it's an angel of. This will sound funny, but it's an angel of partitions. So it's a very high angel, very, very high, close to the silent ones. J.R. said the silent ones are 7 angels who stand before the throne of God. So this angel is in charge of, or a repository of, vast intentions of God, such as light, love, sound, forgiveness, etc., vast intentions. And so you can connect in with this angel to connect in with these vast godly intentions, and it can help karma move through faster, because as we get above in altitude, we get above the karma, and then because grace is all about learning, so as we get above the karma and look down upon it, then we learn the godly lesson, and the karma can release faster. So when and everyone you can call upon that angel now for the highest good to assist you to move whatever it is in you that seems like a karma that's been hard to move. and just see it taking you into that higher space and releasing the karma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Mike.
Bless you.
All right, we have lots of hands still, and I want to call on every single one of you, but we are 23 minutes over. So I'm stalling while Michael decides. I'll let you decide whether we're going to take one more. Of course, we'll have lots of time to do beautiful sharings like that in our series, so we do hope you'll join us. The link is in the chat when you have some beautiful support. Jean Marie, it's in the angelic. Puarael. You want me to?
Look at all those hands.
I'll attend. I know there's lots of hands. I'm gonna put the name of it in the chat. You can. Angels have very long names. Each syllable means something, but you can give them nicknames. Like Michael, we call Michael, or Archangel Michael. So you could just call this angel Puarael. Puarael.
Let's do Ronaldo.
Okay, so we're going to do one more sharing, and then the rest of you, we will definitely get you during the series because we have lots of time for sharing. So I hope you will join in. And after, who'd you say, Ronaldo? After Ronaldo, we're going to unmute Ronaldo Porcile. We'll do a blessing and send you into your Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us. We've just been so touched and moved by this time together. So, Ronaldo, my friend.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Corinne. Merci. And she loves this angel. That's so beautiful. We have a beautiful friend in France that we love very much. Please go ahead, Ronaldo.
Okay, great. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. I just, I guess Spirit called me in about 15 minutes ago, and I connected to this transmission. Very appropriate. My love and light to everyone. We're living, obviously, in very special times. And thank you for the service, both for Alicia and Michael. I guess my question is unusual for me. Every so often in the last maybe 2 months or so, I'll have sort of a bit of a panic attack, anxiety attack. It's like, I don't know where it's coming from. It's not it's unusual for me because it's not something I experience. It's not part of my history per se, at least in this lifetime. On a conscious level, I can go, wow, look, where is that from? Where's that coming from? Am I picking something up from who or from what? And so I'm not quite sure about that. And a part of me feels quite close to the other side at times. I go, wow, man, maybe tonight could be, or this day could be my last day or something. So anyway, I just wanted to put that in. If there's anything there that you can address, facilitate, clarify for me for the highest good.
Well, that feeling that quite close to the other side.
I can't hear you, Michael.
No, it was on.
There you are. Nope. Oh, it's going off and on. Here, why don't you take mine? 1 second. We're just switching mics. There you go.
Hello.
Yes, that's better. Yes.
So we'll get Alicia hooked up. She'll have something to say probably. So when you get close to that sense of the other side, it can be, that can create the apprehension right there, that you're starting to more consciously do the multidimensional awareness. You know, I said about 6 weeks ago I had a surgery, but I had a sense of, I wasn't particularly apprehensive, but I had a sense, well, I might not come back from this surgery, because I had a sense they were going to take me even farther into spirit during the surgery, which is what I've always found happen in these surgeries.
Right.
And which in fact they did. I went into a part of the spirit I had never consciously experienced. So I think there's that. But as soon as you started talking, it was very interesting. I was aware of your consciousness. There's a very interesting pairing. So that's why I'm going to say, Alicia probably have something to talk about this, because I was aware of an angel. And there's an angel with you at the time of Dante. Dante was a teacher in the line of the travelers around the time of, in the middle of the Renaissance, I guess. And he wrote a very famous book called The Inferno, about transiting into the other levels, very much about the hells is what everybody focuses on. And there's something in you that carries across a remembrance of something that terrified you in that time. I'm giving Alicia a chance to tune into this too, because it was definitely an angelic form that's with you, but that you're still connected to. I'm not sure it's a positive angel. I just know it was an angelic form around the time of Dante.
It's a counterfeit.
So it's a counterfeit. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So well, to clarify, it was a counterfeit, which is a negative of a positive angel.
Yeah.
So we'll clear the counterfeit and then connect you to the positive.
Yeah. And so you had what you thought was an experience with an angel of light that went very dark and created tremendous terror in you. But because you believed it was coming from, was it coming from Michael? No, but
it was coming from,
it's a counterfeit something. She's much better at this than me, believe me, the angels. I can sense them, but I don't. She can get right in who it is, and much more than I do.
It's the unnameable angel. It's a very, when was this? How long ago?
Dante's, what, 500-600 years ago, I'm guessing,
yes,
700 years ago.
This angel. So everybody, open yourself to receive of a very, very beautiful presence. So this angel is the only angel in all the decades I've been doing this I cannot name out loud. It's a very, very high angel. It takes us out of form into essence. It takes us so close that we think half a breath more and I will transition, which I think is why you've been saying you feel like you could pass any moment. So this takes us to that dying each day, to that where we're like just a half a breath and I would drop the body. But we don't have a fear in that place. We're in a place of allness with all that is. Our spiritual senses are ultimately open. So when we're offered this very high thing, we'll often be offered something less to see if we'll go for it. And it's so subtle. When you get higher, this angel is one where we encounter before we're about to. It's an angel we can encounter when we're stepping out of the incarnation pattern entirely. And so it looks like you were offered that and was fooled by this one that was below it. And when you went for that, then you fell even further. Don't feel bad. We've all done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2 hands in the air on that one. So, but it's very hard to tell the counterfeit from the real thing. It'd be like, you'd have to be a jeweler to tell a really fabulous cubic zirconium from a real diamond. Do you want to say something?
No, I think that seems to be addressing exactly what happened.
So when we go for these, and by the way, for everybody else, it looks like this angel is working with you. So if you're like going out of your body, just allow it, just receive the blessings of that. It could change everything, really, for the highest good. So it looks like Ronaldo, when you were experiencing that, there was a temptation that we need to name, as well is it also once you fell, it put a block between you and the high angelic. Because you went, oh, got fooled by that. I'm not hanging out with those wingy things anymore, right? And yet this, a lot of, these particular, I also suggest don't hang out with angels, don't work with angels, work with the very, very, very high grade archangels, silent ones if you can. Usually we'd be crispy critters if we connect directly to a silent one, but to the very high pristine. This angel that I'm talking about is one of those. Very, very high. So
it's great.
So the temptation, Michael just whispered it, you probably heard it, greed.
Greed.
Greed. Looks like you got seduced. When we have these latter day temptations, they're always seems like such a great thing. JR said, beware of the tricks in the truth. So it's like truth, 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 trick, truth, truth, truth. And if we don't catch that, right, then we're off. So it looks like you loved your son in that life very much. Not necessarily Yorel in this life, your son in that life. Although the son in that life is someone in your life, this life, not Yorel. And your son, you only had one child, which would have been highly unusual in those days. And he was sickly. And so you hustled like mad to make money, get resources to try to cure him. And which you did. Or let's say spirit cured him. But once you got a taste of money, and then this counterfeit came in, so let yourself feel that emotion. There was no turning back. And then because you changed so much, your son did die. And it was devastating to you. And you really closed your heart to really loving because it was such a deep hurt. And the thing that was really hardest for you is you felt guilty. So it also puts a confusion inside of you in relation to abundance. Looks like you want to say something.
I feel something moving here for sure. I mean, I feel the truth of what you're saying, the emotion of it. So if this is whatever can be done to clear it, whatever I can do to facilitate the transit, the process to let this go. I'm open.
It's letting go right now through grace. So just allow yourself to really feel what you're feeling for a moment, to just feel the emotions, let go of the guilt, of the shame, the judgment. I forgive myself for judging myself, for putting greed ahead of the love and truth inside of me. Forgive myself for judging myself as responsible for my son's death. Forgive myself for judging myself for being fooled by this counterfeit angel and choosing a lower path and falling. I forgive myself for judging the seduction of negativity. Forgive the judgments that it's just too hard to walk the high ground. Deep breath, let it all go. So everybody obviously do this forgiveness with us. And one more deep breath, Ronaldo, and really let it go, opening to this real angel that is with you. Very high angel, allowing yourself to go into that space where you are one with all things. But it's just half a breath from transition. For you're not dying physically, you're dying to the world. So that your allegiance is with God only. And contained within God only is the love of family, your son, your wife, all that you love within life. Nothing ever more than the beloved in God itself. And just take one more deep breath. Breathe in the love present. Exhale and let it all go. Open yourself, and everyone open yourself to receive of this presence. It's a very large presence. To open your spiritual eyes, ears, heart, sense, knowing. The highest good.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. What a beautiful Saturday. We so appreciate you sharing your Saturday with us. We love you very much. Michael's gonna send us away with a blessing. So much love to you, and hope we see you in a few weeks, if not before.
Dearest Lord, thank you for the blessings of this day. Thank you for lifting us into the greater experience of divine love, for opening our knowing, our spiritual sensing of reality. Help us to walk in this greater state of consciousness, to live and manifest this clarity, this oneness with truth in all aspects of our expression. Help us to serve each other and to be available for you to serve through us in the greatest way possible for us. We ask this all be done in grace. We ask the light to take from each person present all that can be lifted for the highest good. Any karmas or imbalances, any pains or hurts. We thank you for your grace. All glory goes to God. So glory be to you, Father. May your glory live in us as well. And thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Bless you.
Bless you all. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye for now. Hope to see you soon. We'll send you the archive. Lots of blessings. Sending you off with sparkly fingers. Joyous Saturday. Bye-bye. We'll unmute the lines for those present if you want to say bye-bye. You can
Thank
love
you.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you
Love
so
you.
much.
Thank
God
you.
bless
Love you.
You all.
God bless
Thank
you.
Bye,
you.
all. God bless
So
you.
much.
God bless.
Y'all.
Bye. God bless you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you. God bless
Thank
you.
Bless you
you.
all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay.